Today, we're going to break down the absolute bedrock of any company that runs on SAP. It's organizational structure. And look, this isn't just about boring settings in a system. It's about creating a digital blueprint for your entire business. This is the foundation that every single financial transaction is going to be built on. So let's get into it. So how do you take a real-world, living, breathing company and translate it into a perfectly structured digital twin inside SAP? Well, the answer lies in mastering a few key building blocks called organizational units. If you get these right, you unlock powerful, crystal-clear reporting. But if you get them wrong, well, you're looking at a future of inconsistent data and financial reports that just never seem to add up. First up, let's really dig into what this digital blueprint means. It's so much more than just a technical configuration. What we're really doing here is creating an accurate digital reflection of your company's legal and operational reality. We're making sure that every single transaction gets posted correctly, right from day one. Okay, so at the very, very top of the hierarchy, you've got something called the client. You can think of this as the entire corporate group, the whole mothership. But the really crucial work, the stuff we care about today, happens in the layers just below. These organizational units are the skeleton, the framework that holds all of your financial data together. Now, if you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, please make it this. The company code is king. It's everything. A company code represents a single, independent legal entity. It is the absolute minimum structure you need in SAP financials. Why? Because this is the level where your official, legally required financial statements, like your balance sheet and your P&L, are actually generated. All right, so we have the concept. Now, how do we actually make it real? For any administrator who's setting up a new company, the journey always starts right here, building that foundational company code. And here is a critical piece of advice, a genuine best practice. Never, ever start from a blank slate. I mean it. Setting up a company code involves hundreds of detailed settings. So the fastest and, honestly, the safest way to do it is to copy an existing one. Ideally, you want to use one of the country-specific templates that SAP provides. This is going to save you a ton of time and, more importantly, help you avoid really costly mistakes down the line. The process is actually designed to be super efficient. You pick a template for your country, you copy it to create your new company code, and then you just go in and tweak the specific details. The real magic here is that copying brings everything over. The definition, all those crucial global parameters, and even the chart of accounts. It's a massive head start. So after you've copied the template, the next critical step is to review these key global parameters. The chart of accounts, that's the backbone of your entire general ledger. The fiscal year variant, that defines your business calendar. Does your year end in December or maybe it ends in September? And finally, you set the company currency, which is the local currency for that specific legal entity. Getting this right is absolutely essential for accurate local reporting. So, our legal entity is built. That's great. But what about getting insights out of it? How do you structure things so you can satisfy both your internal managers who want to see performance and the external auditors who demand compliance? This is where we start adding more dimensions to our structure. When it comes to reporting in a modern SAP system, your two main tools are going to be profit centers and segments. The key is to understand who they're for. Think of it like this. Profit centers are for internal management. You'd use them to see how profitable a specific product line is. Segments, on the other hand, are for external legal reporting. They're designed to meet official standards like IFRS 8. You might also hear people talk about business areas, but that's an older structure that can't produce a fully balanced financial statement, which is exactly why profit centers and segments are the standard now. And this brings us to a huge question for any administrator who's worried about compliance. What if your accounting standards, like US GAAP or IFRS, say you have to provide a complete, balanced financial statement for each of your business segments? And I don't just mean a P&L, I mean a full balance sheet. How do you actually make SAP do that? The answer is a seriously powerful feature called document splitting. When you activate this, it works like magic in the background. It makes sure that for every single journal entry, the system automatically figures out and posts the correct profit center or segment to every single line item, which keeps them constantly in balance. This is the secret sauce that makes real-time, balanced financial statements below the company code level possible. Okay, let's zoom out a little. Most companies aren't just one single legal entity, right? They're usually a collection of them. So how do you manage costs and track performance across all these different company codes? Well, that is the job of the controlling area. You should think of it as a big management umbrella. It's the main organizational unit for all your cost accounting, and its most important feature is that it can hold more than one company code under it. And that ability is exactly what solves a huge business problem. Your management team doesn't want to look at 5 different reports for 5 different companies. No way. They want a single, unified view of the costs and revenues for a particular business operation, no matter what the underlying legal structure looks like. To get that unified view, you assign multiple company codes to just one controlling area. But, and this is a big but, there is one non-negotiable rule. All of the company codes that you put into that one controlling area must share the exact same operating chart of accounts and the same fiscal year variant. This alignment is absolutely essential. You just can't compare costs and revenues if your accounts are structured differently or if your financial calendars don't line up. Okay, now let's zoom out to the highest level of reporting you can imagine, taking all the financial results from the entire corporate group and consolidating them into one picture. For this level of group consolidation, SAP uses another organizational unit called a company. Now, listen up because this can be a bit confusing. A company is different from a company code. The best way to think of the company is as a simple ID tag. You assign this tag to your legally independent company codes to identify them as subsidiaries or trading partners within the big corporate family. For example, let's say your US-based subsidiary is represented by company code 1000. For consolidation purposes, you might assign it the consolidation company ID of, you guessed it, 1000. And you do the same for your German subsidiary, which is company code 2000. It would get its own unique ID, maybe 2000. It's these simple IDs that the consolidation system uses to map all the financials from each separate legal entity into one unified group statement. So let's quickly recap our blueprint. Number 1, start with templates to build your company code foundation. It's a lifesaver. 2, use profit centers for your internal analysis and segments for external compliance. And remember to turn on document splitting if you need it. 3, link your company codes to a single controlling area to get that unified management view. And finally, number 4, assign company IDs to get everything ready for that top-level group consolidation. And that's our blueprint. Building this structure, it's not just some technical exercise you have to get through. It's about creating a single source of truth for your entire business. And once you have that foundation solidly in place, the real question isn't how you built it, but what incredible business insights are you now going to unlock with it?